You
This
know,
energy is like,
you
ah,
just do the best you can, you know.
yeah,
I mean,
show up.
everybody's going to fuck it up sometimes, excuse my French, but you know, I mean, every time I have an exchange of any sort, and a lot of it's not really in the conversation or whatever, but
Hmm.
like, you know, you have these human interactions with people. Here, let me
Yeah.
turn on the comments on my Facebook page.
Hmm.
Uh, I always like, okay, once I do whatever I do and addressing myself, what I do, I go, all right, do I feel any different about myself? Do I feel any different about this person? Right? You know what I mean? Like if I
Hmm.
feel, and normally what happens at some point, I feel more love for myself, more love for the person.
Yes.
But,
Can I
you know,
suggest something?
huh?
Can I suggest something?
Yeah.
If it resonates, fine. If it doesn't, throw it out.
Yeah.
Call that part of yourself that you've given to that person in that exchange. Call yourself back to yourself
Yeah.
and let them be, and you bring yourself back. Let that just evaporate into back into source.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense at all. I've found that it's been so helpful, especially I think that we've fragmented ourselves so much lately that it's in these energies, it's time to bring us all of our aspects, all these little parts of us that we've left out in the field. Come on back. Come on
Yeah.
back. If that,
It's an ongoing thing, you know. I
yes, it
mean,
is.
that exercise, you know, I know that myself and other people, I mean, like you do that with, you know, past lives, dealing with ancestral lineage, you do it with sexual partners, you do it with other, you know, other pieces of your soul that you've left in your experience, and then giving them back, giving what you've taken back. I mean, that's how I do it. You
Uh-huh.
know, I say I call back all my soul aspects from this exchange and
Yeah.
I give you all yours back. And
Right.
so it
Right.
is, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, in this energy, everything is like in our face. I
Yeah.
just did the 2 day. Are we live?
Yes, we're live. We have about let's see, 24, 30 people in the house, but our notifications are being suppressed, so it usually
Okay.
takes about 10 minutes for people to
Yeah.
start coming in.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, so let's just kind of like kick it off. Welcome back, Terry. Terry's been a
Idea.
long time supporter of Soulogy, very supportive energetically and otherwise. And so I just want to say thank you to Terry and those like her for the love and support contributions that keep us going by the seat of our pants every day, which is not a complaint. That's just the way the 5D works, isn't it?
Oh boy. Yes.
But
Yeah.
you said everything is in our face
It
right
is.
now.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's coming up to be seen. I just finished. I did the workshop with Kimberly and Franco over the weekend, and holy guacamole! You
So
talk about how
yeah, I mean,
the,
you
the,
know,
the telepathy was off the charts. When Franco was doing the processes, I could almost know. Well, there were times that I did. I would say what he was going to say before he said it. It was just so wonderful. The synchronicities, what he was talking about, it was all like boom, clicking right in. It's remembering. It's a remembering. And I don't know. I think in these, and I wanted to thank you for showing up. God bless you. I think it's been, it's been a struggle, I think, sometimes because
yeah,
we're
it
human.
has.
We're human, and you are a hero, my dear. We are heroes. Just to show up. Today I was thinking, um, I'm going to face this fear of doing the program because it's fearful for me a little bit, but yet that's just an illusion, something I've created, and I think by facing my fear, walking through it, showing up, and being my best self, that's all we can ask from ourselves or anybody.
Yeah, you know, that's what I don't know. I struggle with, I feel like we're at this place where, I used to write in the poetry, we're in this space, this side of conscious thought on the other side of conscious thought, but this side of intuitive thought. And I don't think that's really explains it, but the space, the energy of the space, it's like we're in the space between breaths or something. And I feel like the first part of it is, the way that we figure stuff out, the way that we function as a result of the way we process things in our brain is done through a lot of verbalization, a lot of explanation, a lot of storytelling. And then we're now like on the edge, or maybe in this the intuitive part or the telepathic part, where it's kind of a challenge to the human aspect, because you kind of know what's going on, and do you say something or do you not say something? And that's what I'm finding. And I'm doing less talking, I'm trying to, and more work in the energetic field, even though I know that some things have to be said and all that. But I think this is, I honestly, I'd like to hear what your thoughts are. I think, with all the stuff, all the shadow work and zero pointing and past lives and visitations of whatever kind people experience, or whatever their higher sensitivity experiences are, I think that maybe the biggest challenge is dealing with the effects it has on our normal behavioral patterns, our normal means of communication, just our normal human interactions. I think it's because we're moving into a different math and a different language. I don't know. What do you think?
I think that words are getting in the way sometimes because we're feeling so much. I think that we are getting to know our truths. I think that we're standing in our truths. I think when sometimes words just don't explain what's going on, because feelings and emotions, well, emotions are something that has to go through and out. That was one of my biggest lessons in this lifetime. And that's what I know I do a lot of work with that in my dream time or whatever, emotions, teaching about emotions. I believe that was one of the things I remembered when I had my near-death experience. That was one of the things that they told me was that I did. And I said, why I'm such an emotional mess.
Were they referring to what you did in previous incarnations, or this one, or both?
In this plan, I believe in this incarnation.
Okay.
But this incarnation, I think, is, and I've said it before, I think that we are having our life reviews after we transition out of a body. We go through a life review.
Yeah.
So
we're having it in the flesh. That's what you're saying. Okay.
Yes, we are. I do believe that, and we're remembering more and we're processing more. I don't know. That didn't answer your question.
No, I see that. We having life review, in the flesh, and that would make sense. That would make sense, wouldn't it? I mean, you're a medium, right?
Well, I do, but I do QHHT, beyond quantum healing.
Okay. But I mean, you've had some goings on with, let's just say, souls that have transitioned.
Oh, my husband, David. Yeah. He's
yeah, I want to talk about that in a little bit, about your husband specifically. But what I meant was, I know I don't consider myself a medium. I do believe that we're everything. But when I first woke up, like a lot of people, there was a lot of activity in the astral, with transition souls. And one of the things that was really in all the experiences in those early days was kind of, can you hear me? Can you hear me all right?
Oh, it's coming back.
Can you hear me?
I think.
Uh-oh. It's the energy. Test. Is it me or you?
Okay. No, probably me.
Okay.
Probably me.
Well, no, I was just going to say, in your experiences like mine and other people's, I mean, in your experiences, when you were interacting with souls that had transitioned, be it your husband or anyone else,
yeah,
they, by virtue of that communication, there was some idea given that there's a life review that occurs when you cross over, right?
yeah, yes, yeah, there is. And plus, I remembered seeing part of mine, but I didn't see the whole because that was part of what I'm doing in.
So are you
in my physical?
So are you helping people to process emotions? Is that part of your mission?
I part of it. I believe that what I remember is part of it is I am teaching other like star family, other beings that don't have the emotions that we have. Plus, you know, working on that. That's just been a big thing for me, is working on emotions. And yeah.
So
and
are you saying that you're teaching, let's just say, non-human entities or non-physical human entities, humanoid entities, about emotions?
some?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the reason I say that is because I know we had a interaction with some, what do you call them? The short grays, the Zetas, when we were in Hawaii. And one of the things they told us was, it was like a group of them, and they were like passing through, and they said that they were kind of liberating themselves. They were leaving the planet, that group was. And that one of the things that they wanted to learn was they wanted to learn, I guess, about love or about emotions specifically. Yeah. Or that they didn't have that and they wanted to know about it and something like that.
Right.
So
I think many, well, you're frozen again.
I'm here.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think that many don't have the gamut of emotions that we have here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We have ups, and lows, lows. And it's, I think the magnificent part of it is when we finally can realize that they're to move. Emotion,
Move.
be in motion. Like I said, not stuckness.
Well, I mentioned this before. Yeah. There's a little bit of a lag. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay. All right. So I've mentioned this 3 or 4 times in regard to what you're talking about. A specific video that I watched that Mateus De Stefano did for Gaia. And I don't follow anyone 100%, but it just really resonated with me, and it goes along with what you're talking about. And so he was basically talking about the creation of Earth and the evolution of Earth, and how the Galactic Federation was formed, and part of their formation was as a result of what do we want to do with Earth, like seeding us and however that went. So at some point they said, let's take a vote. Do we want to bring these mammals, that's what the word he used, into the Galactic Federation or up to this dimension? Do we want to help them ascend to this dimension? And the majority of the answers were no. And eventually, of course, they said yes. But the reason that they said no was because they were, I don't want to say afraid, but they were like in awe or something, I don't know what the right adjective is, of our power.
Right.
And that power was specifically identified in the characteristics of our emotions. And he went on to explain how there was so much power coming from these emotions, like unbridled energy, right? That they were being siphoned off to like run the energy grid on a planet and just different things for the different ET star family. So my point is that it sounds to me, or resonates with me, with what you're saying and what he said and others have said, that the human emotion is both, looks like the burden, but it's actually the blessing. That maybe part of our transformation is to consciously utilize this massive emotional energy into manifestation, creation, and so on.
Yes, creation. We are creator beings. We truly are. And I think that once we realize and get these emotions, because with choice, that choice is our superpower. We have choice. And once we get, there's nothing that we can't do. Nothing. Everything is possible. We just have to remember. And I think that we're in a time right now where it's like boom, boom, boom. You make your choices. You stay out of the distractions. There are so many distractions right now. And it's all on purpose. You can see it. We can see it. And stepping outside of all the boxes, all the labels. Well, am I frozen again? Or
no,
you're
no,
frozen?
I think you're freezing, but the audio's fine. You can hear me fine, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
So look, here's a really interesting comment by Gina Lisa Messaroli. Thank you for the comment, and everybody else for your comments. She says they lack emotion because they are from the future. We are moving towards all AI, and the AI hasn't had feelings or emotions uploaded. That's why they want to learn it.
There's a lag.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? No, you didn't hear it.
You're frozen, but
it's the energy, man.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you. I think it's on your end. We'll see if we can make it work.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
So yeah. this sister, huh?
You said she thought from the future?
Yeah, she said they lack emotion because they are from the future. We are moving towards all AI, and the AI hasn't had feelings or emotions uploaded. That's why they want to learn it. So the reason I find that very interesting is because there's a part of me that either thinks or knows, and I think it's more of a no for me, I can only speak for myself, that we're like at the center. It may be that we're both within and without, but we're like at the center of collapsing timelines to include, in other words, whenever we have an elevation, past, present, and future all merge. So I really find that interesting what she said, because that it kind of exudes alignment, and also takes it back to us, period, like we're connected to everything, past, present, future, parallel.
Right. It's all
we're
now.
Bringing alignment to all of it. Yeah.
Right. It's all
interesting
now.
comment.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It's I don't know.
Tom White Bear says many of us had to descend just to be here.
I believe that. Yes, I do believe that. Yeah.
It's like we just, and here's the paradox, always, right? Like we're descended to come here, but we're actually ascended to come here.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Even higher, I believe.
Yeah.
And we're taking our other aspects with us, or all of our aspects. Yeah. During one of the processes that we did this last weekend, I did with Franco and Kimberly, is I had the same experience I had when I had my near-death experience, as seeing aspects of myself leaving, almost like, lower and higher. They're just words anyway, but they kind of fit. Yeah. Lower aspects of myself leaving the same way, and then higher, like, I don't know, aspects of myself that I'm ready to embody, I should say.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that's a good description.
Yeah,
it's kind of weird, but I wonder, like, okay, so we can all kind of identify with, aspects leaving, right? And yet energy can't be destroyed, and we're transformers. I wonder if when aspects come in, let's just say higher aspects come in, and we anchor them, are we actually losing the aspects we think we're losing, or are we surrendering to those things? I don't know. It's weird.
I think maybe we're upgrading them, actually, because, like you said, energy never goes away.
Yeah.
I think that we're maybe just upgrading them, actually, thinking about it, because we don't lose anything. Nothing is ever lost.
True.
So,
Pamela Johnson. Pamela, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So Pamela said, we came from the future to change our past and the
Can you
present.
hear
See,
me?
that's another
Yeah, I seem
way
to
to
be
say it.
moving.
Yeah, I'm moving. I'm moving. I'm dancing over here. Right on. Test,
Yeah,
test, test,
there you
test.
go.
Okay, we're back.
Oh, I keep freezing. I know. Am I freezing when you freeze, or I don't know?
No,
Yeah.
you're not freezing. You're still talking for some reason.
Oh, okay.
So Cece Reed, our friend, she said, "Does it really matter where we came from or where we are going when it is all now?" Yeah, that's very, very
It's
true.
true. Very
Yeah,
true. It's very true.
I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's kind of like, okay, if let's just say hypothetically, if the past and the present, the parallels and all that are all linked together, does it really change how present we can be, how much of a conscious creator we can be in this now moment? I mean, it's it's still
I
the
think
the field of potential is still, the same.
mhm. I think it affects things too. I think it does, because I know a lot of times, just like in sessions, um, I've had the higher self say, when the person has cleared something. I'm going to keep going because I guess you
Yes, keep
can
going.
hear me. But
Yes, we can hear you.
yeah, okay. Um, when they heal something, or when they release something that they've hung on to, and there's a lot of times it's generational.
Hmm.
And I had one client that she says, I can see my ancestors lined further than I can even see,
Wow.
thanking me. They were in such gratitude because she cleared what she cleared. My crown's just tingling like crazy. She cleared what she, for not just her, but for everybody
Yeah.
in her lineage. And we can heal. And when I did mediumship things, I would have, like, I had this woman's mother come in, and she says, I want to thank you because every time you heal, I heal. It's not just, we're not on these journeys. We are here to have experiences on our own and expansion, but we affect everything, I believe. And I think
Absolutely.
that's what energy, I
Absolutely.
think, yeah. And in this energy, the more we can stay, yeah, people say, well, what do you think you should be doing? And, or, I can be working on myself. I think that if I can be aligned most of the time, which is a full-time job, if I can keep myself aligned and observe and let the emotions come, let them go, and be the best version that I can be myself, in a loving state, a non-judgmental state, because we've played all roles. We have played.
Yeah. Now she really froze. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, we've been mountains. I mean, I had a client that was she was a mountain. We could. She was part of the in that in expression for that short time.
Yeah.
We've been at.
Tough signal. It's the energy. Let's just put our hands on it. See if we can't get it to correct itself. Yeah, you're muted. You're muted. Hit the mute button.
Okay, there
There
we
you
go.
go. You're back. So I
Yeah,
mean, yeah, I dig the thing about the mountains too.
yeah,
I
we've been.
can relate to that. I know we all can. We've had episodes, but I
I
want. But
one little story with you.
yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
This is so interesting. I had a client, and when I had my session, vision is this beautiful big. It was like a.
All right. I'm going to hold the energetic field here. See if we can't get
Well,
her.
oh, me. Yeah.
It sounds like a bad cell phone commercial.
Oh, is it my real aspect coming through?
I don't know what's happening. I know it's energy. So go ahead. So you had a client, and what happened?
Well, in my session, I met my whale aspect, And the love was so tremendous that it was like, you know, when I was on the other side, it's just that love is undescribable.
Yeah.
So then I had a client and her higher self. They were talking about the whale was coming in, and I mentioned to her higher self. I said, "Well, I in my session," and they said, "Well, you gave birth to her." So she was my baby. She was my baby in that life.
The client was? Or she lost us again. Damn nation, this is good too. It's okay. We just have to make it part of the transmission. It's not about the words. It's about the energy.
Yeah. But no, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I was her mother. I gave her highest self said, because we were talking and she was a whale, and I said, "Oh, I was a whale in one of my incarnations." Yeah. And they said, you gave birth to her. And that was such tremendous. That was a session I did online. And at one point they said, I asked if they could run energy through her. And they said, "We'd like to have you remove your physical eyes away from the screen." So, and I said, "Oh, you know," they said, "because this is going to be so bright that it could bother your eyes." I've never had that happen. I says, "Okay." So I says, you can start now. So I moved my eyes away, and then I heard nothing, like, you know, and I said, "Oh," I waited, and then I looked and it was frozen. I went, "Oh no, oh no." And then all of a sudden she came back.
Energy's real. Energy's real.
They said we did that.
They probably didn't want you to see her shape shifting.
No, they said
she probably turned into a whale. Her whale aspect.
Maybe they said that the light was going to be so bright, and then they said we froze it on purpose. And I says, "Oh, did you know I was going to try to peek?" But I wasn't really. But there's, you know, these things are so interesting. Yeah. There's just no end to our magnificence.
Yeah. But the emotions are huge. I mean, this is something that is kind of more of a physical nature, right? You know what I mean? I mean, like emotions are a physical thing. You feel physical things in your body.
You're not moving.
Can you hear me?
You can probably hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you. Well,
let's get this internet working right.
Yeah, let's see here. We can do this. All right. You got me? No? Okay, well, all right. I don't know what's happening, but we got, can you hear me, Terry? We got Ashley Lee coming up in 45. You back? Yeah, here we go. Let's try it again. But these emotions are really starting to, because emotions are kind of physical, right? I mean, can you hear me?
Moving? No.
Well, let's call it a day on this show. Let's see. Terry, can you hear me? Test, test, test. Okay. Well, we're going to have to just throw in the towel on this one. Terry Willette, beautiful, beloved, brave sister. She doesn't like to come on camera, but she did. And I really appreciate her. So we'll be back in 45 minutes with the beautiful Ashley Lee. All right. See you. Bye-bye.